Our children are curious, they're into everything, and we decided that we wanted to really explore big questions. I did my research and EI was a natural fit, looking at the big questions.
Like back when this, like say, discipline wheel didn't exist, I actually found it hard to find what type of lesson we were in without the teachers telling us. Because I thought it was only maths, English, science and topic, but then there's way more on there.
When we're teaching using EI, suddenly questions open up, and that creates a very different teaching atmosphere.
We know that sometimes our disciplines overlap, don't they? And actually they can be really useful for us to understand the whole thing that we're learning about. We're going to do quite a lot of that today, aren't we? And that is a real key skill that we're going to be using today for our very first experiment.
Today I've been watching lots of amazing activities. Yeah. I brought this along. Tell me about this. Where did this fit in? Tell me about what we do here.
So earlier in class we were using the pipettes to cover a coin with water and see how many drops it could hold before it started flooding.
Any other predictions about how much water is going to fit on that coin? How many drops, I should say. How many drops? Tilly?
1 or 2.
1 or 2. Okay, we've got 3, 1, 2. How many?
Maybe 4.
4. Maybe as much as 4. What do you reckon, Dylan?
5.
5.
I predicted around 22 or something.
Oh, 22. Was your prediction right?
No.
No.
It could go up to 43.
43! You got 43 droplets.
Yeah, on a 1 pence.
On
coin.
one, were you surprised?
Yeah.
You're looking at it from the top. Sometimes as scientists we need to look at things from different perspectives, don't we?
It looks
What do you
like
notice about it?
it looks like a bubble.
What sort of shape is it making?
It's making a circle.
Yeah, it's like a dome, isn't it?
Since I saw that on the last one it got to the edge, and I was actually surprised it could stay on because I thought as soon as it gets to the edge it falls off.
So in a moment we're going to pull out those cool looking glasses. They don't look like glasses at the moment because they're rather flat. You might have to do a bit of folding. And we're going to put them on. And we're going to go back to that really important word that we talked about earlier. Observe.
And we're going to really start to think about what we're seeing. Firstly, should we have a look at the lights? Why don't we have a look at the lights?
So, Clayton, you had a really, really good observation, didn't you? Tell us what you saw. What happened when you experimented with where you were looking?
Like up there you would see colours, then under something that was really dark, you wouldn't see those colours because there isn't enough light for you to refract it.
As you saw, Clayton didn't even want to go to playtime because he's questioning. He wants to find out. They want the knowledge.
It's the golden moment with teaching. That's what you want to see every child do and feel. And that was a wonderful example where Clayton just had an idea, a little seed of an idea. What happens? So take it away to prove and back in. He thought that actually the colours would not show because he thought the lens might correct. But actually in disproving that, he found a lot of joy, and I think, it certainly improved his understanding of what we were learning about.
Tell me about why did the Titanic sink? What have you been investigating?
We've been investigating like the people that were on the ship. We said it would be like history and science.
And you have to be a good swimmer to like go down and like see the wreck and like.
Oh, brilliant! A bit of PE in there maybe.
Yeah.
Geography to know where it happened.
So we're going to look at the world right now as scientists. So you're imagining that iceberg smashes in the middle of the night into the side of the Titanic, rips and gouges a huge hole in the side of one of these compartments, and water starts flooding in. That's your marble.
So what we did, we put like marbles or these balls in there, and then we filled it up with water. Then what happened was this end of it started to sink while this bit stayed up.
Right.
So the designer made like too much space in it. They forgot to like make it like unsinkable.
They did forget to make it unsinkable. What did the water do? The water came into the first compartment. What happened after that?
When it started to fill up, what happened was it started to flow into the other compartment.
That's right. We observed that, didn't we? We observed the water moving from one compartment into the others, and then down it went, didn't it?
I thought it was really fascinating because we were looking through like history and like technology and engineering through the design, and yeah, that was just all fun for the experiment as well.
But they're also thinking, I think, which is quite surprising, that they're thinking about the distinct skills that they need as a scientist. So they're thinking, I need to be more observant when I'm a scientist. And with a historian, perhaps they need to think about the evidence. Is it biased? Is it sort of like somebody's viewpoint?
Epistemic Insight equips children to make links. Children do think like this, and we can help them and hone them to do that even more effectively. So what secondary schools could also, in order to carry on with that, it would be using that shared language, would be continuing to talk in that same way.
We as teachers today have certainly just been there as guides as opposed to explicitly teaching. The children have done a really fantastic job of finding their own path with the questions that we've presented.
Well, I think as a teacher, the thing you thrive off is light bulb moments, seeing the twinkle in someone's eye, seeing a child look into looking up, and then suddenly that sudden moment of realisation that I've just worked something out, or I've just realised something that I don't know at all and I want to find out more about that, or I've just made that link. And that today was full of that. As a teacher, being a facilitator of learning rather than me sitting here giving you my information, that's much more exciting. That's what I think the best lessons are about.
Doing this, I think, will improve children's likings of school. Because normally you'd think, like the first thing that comes into your mind of school would normally be writing an essay or something. But then, with the discipline wheel and actually doing the stuff, the first thing that comes to your mind about school is a really fun place, which is what I think now.
Yeah, I've learned a lot today because in a normal lesson they would probably tell us what we're doing and then we would get on with it, but we're going through what we're doing a couple of times, then we would get on with the activity, and it's a lot more stable with the activities, and it's been really fun.
Yeah, it helps when I do it because then I can understand it more rather than just going straight into the work.
This isn't about an add-on, this is about a change in your style of teaching which actually overarches everything you're doing. That's not taking extra time, it's not taking extra resourcing because you have to resource anyway, lessons and things like that. It's more of a change in the way of thinking than anything else.